Good afternoon, my dear students of Datura 7 class. It's rather sad and unfortunate that due to the COVID-19 outbreak in the country, we all have to stay at home. I, however, pray for God's protection for you and your family. That God will continue to keep you safe until we all return to school and continue with our academic work. While you are in the house, I admonish you to keep praying to God, be respectful, and abide by the simple instructions of your parents so that you can be safe wherever you are. In the comfort of your home, I want to reach you with the tuition of the week. The aspect is grammar, and the topic is idioms and idiomatic expressions. My dear students, what is an idiom? An idiom simply means a group of words in fixed order with special meaning. An idiom simply means a group of words in fixed order with special meaning. The meaning of an idiom does not change, and it cannot be taken from the literal sense or surface. Let's look at some examples of idioms. Some examples of idioms include have the heart of a lion. When we say a person has the heart of a lion or you have the heart of a lion, it simply means the person is brave or you are brave. 2. If we say that somebody goes by the books, what we simply mean is that the person follows rules and regulations strictly. In other words, the person follows laid down procedures without faltering. 3. To bite one's head off. To bite one's head off simply means to answer someone angrily. To answer someone angrily. 4. To eat your own words means to admit that you are wrong. To eat your own words or to eat one's own words means you are wrong, and so you admit it or the person accepts that he is wrong. Let's go to idiomatic expression. What is an idiomatic expression? An idiomatic expression is a group of words that is made up of a preposition and a verb. A group of words that is made up of a preposition and a verb. An idiomatic expression can also be called phrasal verb. It is also called phrasal verb. Some examples of idiomatic expression includes add to, which means increase. Again, some examples of idiomatic expressions include 1. Add to, which means to increase something. 2. Die down or die away. The moment we say die down or die away, we simply mean decrease it or reduce the quantity or reduce something. So die down, die away means to decrease or to reduce something. 3. Draw in. To draw in something. To draw in means to attract. So if you are drawing in something, it means that you are attracting attention. So you are attracting something or you are attracting somebody's attention. 4. If someone says that you can bear me out, bear me out. Bear me out means confirm. So you can confirm to it, you can attest to it that it is true. So to bear out something means to confirm it or to attest to it. My dear students, that brings us to the end of idioms and idiomatic expressions. Of the few examples given and the explanations, try your hands on these few questions. 1. What is an idiom? 2. Find the meaning of the following idioms. I. To tell a tall story. I. Pull one's legs. I. Bell a cat. Ivy. Guess something for a song. V. Kick the bucket. Question 3. What is an idiomatic expression? Question 4. Explain the following idiomatic expressions. I. End up. I. Drop out. I. Brush off. Ivy. Blow up. V. Add up. Number 5, or question 5. Kukue's father is a man of the cloth means you continue it. Or you continue with the answer. My dear students, the next aspect I want us to tackle is composition. If you look at the questions I sent to you earlier on, you will see that I suggested some topics for you to write on. I gave a few topics for you to write on. You know, under composition, we are doing descriptive essays. And you know that descriptive essays, I've already told you, are essays that describe things, people, places, events, and circumstances using descriptive words, that is, adjectives. In descriptive essays, you describe what the thing actually is, what the person looks like, what the situation is actually, or what the situation is actually. Some of the topics I gave you to try your hands on include what I normally do on Sundays, a market scene in my village, a dream I'll never forget, an interesting function I attended recently. And my dear students, I've selected one and giving you an excerpt on it. So just follow how I have written and practice it. I've also sent you the written text so that you can follow it and practice and be able to write on any of the topic and write very well. What I have for you here is what I normally do on Sundays. How do you start it? Write your heading or the title of your essay boldly in capital letters in the middle and neatly underline it. When you are done, begin with your first paragraph. The paragraph begins this way. Sunday is one of my favorite days because it is the day of the Lord, a day dedicated to worshiping God. I love Sundays particularly because I do just a few activities on Sundays. When I wake up in the morning, I first pray and thank God for His protection upon my family and me. I then proceed to brush my teeth, wash my face, and commence my house chores. When I am done, I quickly take my bath and breakfast and join my mommy, daddy, and my siblings for the family prayer, and off to the church we go. After church, I assist mommy in the afternoon chores. After lunch, I take about 1 hour 30 minutes siesta, after which I study for 2 hours and then wash the kitchen utensils after evening supper. I quickly run down for my shower and get ready for the 6 o'clock news. After, I go through the newspaper for 20 minutes, followed by my evening studies before bed. I say my evening prayers for my family, friends, classmates, and loved ones, including Ghana, and go to sleep. Oh, how I love Sundays. So my dear students, with this excerpt, I hope you'll be able to write very good essays. Yes, this should be your guide, and try your hands on the other topics which I have suggested for you. I've already sent you the written text for you to follow. Finally, I want us to tackle the aspects of literature. And the topic is folktales, puzzles, and myths. My dear students, what's a folktale in the first place? When we say a folktale, what comes to mind? As your guess is as good as mine, a folktale is simply an untrue story, usually an Nancy story, and it is usually passed on orally or by word of mouth. Let's learn some few examples of folktale. 1. The King's Daughter. 2. The Golden Pot or the Wisdom Pot. 3. The Good Statue. In other words, it is usually 1. Anansi and the King's Daughter. 2. Anansi and the Golden Pot or the Wisdom Pot. 3. Anansi and the Glued Statue. Let's take puzzle. My dear students, what is a puzzle? A puzzle is a difficult situation that needs to be solved with careful analysis and decision. It's a tough situation that challenges the mind in decision taking. So you see, a puzzle can make you think the whole day, trying to find solution to a problem and eventually arrive at a decision. Now, we move on to myth. What's a myth? A myth is a strange or a hidden mystery. It is a phenomenon that is unexplainable by man or nature. I take it again. A myth is a strange or hidden mystery or phenomenon that is unexplainable by man or nature. It is normally a strange belief that people have about certain things. An example of a myth is why God or the heavens is far away from man. My dear students, that brings us to the end of our topic, folktales, puzzles, and myths. Try your hands on these questions. 1. Explain the meaning of the following items. Explain the meaning of the following terms. I, folktale. I, puzzle. I, myth. 2. I read a myth to you. Once the cat was feeling hungry, so he decided to hatch a plan for food. He hid near a bag of groundnuts, and when Mouse came to eat the groundnuts, Cat jumped on him to eat him up. But Mouse asked, "You cat, don't you have manners? Don't you wash your hands before you eat? Can't you clean the oil palm on your face and hands before eating?" Cat felt very ashamed, so he stopped to clean his hands before he eats. While he was doing that, Mouse ran away from him. Ever since then, Cat has been looking for Mouse to catch him and eat him up. Finally, I give you a puzzle to solve. A cat can jump from a height of 35 feet, but cannot jump from a room of 3 meters high. Why? Well, see my answer, whether it is the same as yours. Because the windows and the door are closed. Goodbye. Have a blessed afternoon. Take care of yourselves.